So even though this floor plan has features that you're gonna look for in a specific price point, this might not be the one that you choose. I can say that pretty confidently because I had a client that reached out to me recently, sent him to this community, and he ended up buying a different floor plan. But before we get out, I do want to tell you about the second level bonus room up here. There is a lot to like about this one. But ultimately, it wasn't the floor plan that he chose, and there were some specific reasons that we're gonna get in there. The main factor on this community and why it's just selling out like hotcakes is it's pretty small. There's only 71 homes available here, but don't worry, we're still in a phase that you can go ahead and build from the ground up or buy a spec home. I'm gonna put my sunglasses on because it is just a killer day outside here in the Carolinas. We're gonna show you two homes like I always do. So the first one, we're gonna see this absolutely gorgeous 2-story home, but then I'm gonna show you the single level one. Now what's really nice about this one is the price point is even less. They start in the low 300s. It's smaller obviously than the 2-story, but it is one of the most popular floor plans in this entire community. And speaking of the community, we are in Indian Trail, so we're about 20-25 minutes to Uptown Charlotte, about 10 minutes to Matthews, so convenience is really key. Just a few minutes away from 485, so there's a lot of shops, restaurant, retail space, and of course businesses are out here. But this community that's built by KB Homes has an amazing warranty, 10-year structural, and that 1-year first out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get inside pretty quick because as you can see, we are in a street where the homes are getting constructed fast, they're selling out quickly. But we're gonna do what I do every single week. I'm gonna get you inside to this gorgeous 2-story. We got the keys to the kingdom, and I've just been told by Mark, the rep that works in the office, that I can offer some incentives for you. So you're gonna have to move pretty quick to get these. I cannot guarantee if you're watching this and you've been sitting on the sideline for a couple months, now is your call to get off. Give me a call, let's talk. So I do like this craftsman style finish. You're gonna see a couple of different features out from the get-go. You do have hardy board siding, and at this price point, a lot of builders are cutting corners and putting vinyl siding on here, but not with this individual builder, which is KB Homes. So you're gonna have this huge double garage, really nice front porch. I mean, guys, look at this front porch for this price point. It is a huge wraparound porch. You're gonna have the veneer stoning. You're gonna have the hardy board siding on this. Love the colors on this, just gives it this craftsman finish. Even the ceilings on this house, on the exterior, you're gonna see some finishes. It's not just boarded off plainly. You do have some custom carpentry work on here. Now, as we get inside the house, you're gonna see this huge entranceway. Just look at this front porch. I wanna make sure we do it some justice. Just look how big this is. Wrap around. Here's some carpentry that you're seeing on here. Hardy board siding, veneer stoning. And for the price point, it just cannot be beat. Let's not forget the electrical outlet in case you want to do some Christmas decorations, get the lights outside. And here is one of the features that initially I was really surprised at. It looks pretty grand. And when we start talking about the price, I'm sure you'll agree, some of the level of finishes with this builder was really nice. Now you do have options when you build to pick your pallets out, so the flooring, but as you can see, I'm seeing this style a lot in new construction right now, especially for the pre-built spec homes, this oak, but the thickness of the boards, you've got these huge 6-inch boards. You've got the handrail for the stairwell, really nice, so it's exposed. And then we're gonna get down there to the living room and the kitchen. But before we do, I want to just make a quick pit stop to the very first right when you come in, and just look how wide this area is. It doesn't feel tight, congested, or dingy. You've got a cutout opening on this side, half powder room right off, and they've done a really good job on this home office, because when you see new construction, you typically come in and immediately on the right or the left, you'll either see a formal dining room and a study or both. But this study is kind of cut out from here. Look at this. it's not just you look straight into it. It does have its own little nook, privacy. Perfect. So you could use this for a home office, how it's been staged right now, or you could use this as a formal dining room. It's a flex space. It doesn't have a designated reason for this. It's just whatever you want it to do. But for staging purposes, home office with so many people working from home, not everyone chooses the formal dining room route on this, simply because they don't get used as much as they do. The everyday eating in the dining area really covers the majority of it. So it's a good use of space, working from home every single day. Just look at how big this room is. I'm guessing that's about a 12 by 10 rectangle, but a huge archway right here. So you're looking at 4 feet right over there just to get in. So it just makes it feel pretty good. Half powder room, not gonna spend any time in here, but just so you can see it, you've got access half powder room, which is good for downstairs with the everyday people using. Nice wide stair rail. We'll get upstairs here in a bit, but just look, as you can see, there's a window. Love these stairs, how they are situated like this, because you're gonna come up, bend around, and it just looks so much more aesthetically pleasing rather than just seeing that straight shot of stairwell straight up there. This looks just so much better, and it opens it up and lets a lot of natural light in here. You've got a coat closet storage down here. Nothing too exciting. It's one of the ones that bends around here, kind of like Harry Potter in there, but plenty of storage. Your electrical outlets are gonna get fed through to this room. So if you wanted to do a receiver, you wanted to do the speaker package in the house, that's where all your components are gonna feed through in here. But good space, able to kick off. Doesn't have a mud room here. You could easily do a quick built-in drop zone over here if you needed it to, but most people entrance to the house every day through the garage. And speaking of entering the house, you guys now want to see, let me turn this camera around, the living room. This is the open concept floor plan. Dining area, so you can keep that other room as a home office. And then you've got a chef's kitchen in the back with an island. But some of the features that you'll see in here, really, really nice. So as you come in here, let's go ahead and unpack the living room slash family room first. Very common design. You're just gonna see a piece of furniture, but the highest and best use is just to put TVs on the walls nowadays. Here is something that you're gonna see. You're gonna see 2 windows on the side wall and then 3 on the back wall. Plus you're gonna get the sliding glass. So you see a lot of natural light coming in this room. Makes a really good use of this space. Now, just because how big this living room area is, you will have options with your furniture. So I do like what they've done here, just simply put 2 couches, but you could put a sectional if you wanted to go that route. That would absolutely work in here. And they've even got 2 chairs over there. So just look how much seating space is in here. And it doesn't chew too much of this space up, which is really interesting about this, because you can sit in these chairs right over here and you kind of feel like you're part of that hallway area as well, but it's so big and wide and spaced out, so it doesn't feel dingy at all. And again, this is not a huge floor plan. This is like 2,200 square feet. So making sure that the usage of this square footage in this floor plan is really optimal. They've done a really good job. Now this dining room area, let me turn the camera around so you can see it. It's fairly standard. They've got a 6-seater, but you can see the space. I always gauge not by the furniture, but by the space on either side, because you're not gonna wanna keep messing around moving tables if you've got guests coming around. So do you have enough space? And the answer is yes, you do. You do have some space on this, plenty of space. It is pre-wired up here. They do not put fans in, but they're all pre-wired. And I think I talked about it, which was the sound system that they have in here. If you wanted to grab that, you can do that. Now let's go ahead and just check out the backyards. Not huge backyards, plenty big enough for some entertaining. You got a nice sliding glass door. This one does have a covered porch that you could easily screen in. And they've done the upgrade on the concrete pad on this. So you're gonna see 2 concrete pads, and then they're on just under a quarter of an acre lots. So not huge lots, but depending on where you pick, there's plenty of areas in this community where you're gonna back to woods. So you're not gonna be right on top of your neighbors, especially at the back. Not too much you can do about on either side. That's just the nature of the beast in new construction communities nowadays. But it's always nice if you have no one behind you, so you do have that privacy there. But good sized lot, as you can see, plenty to do. You're not gonna put a pool in this backyard, but maybe a swing set for the kids, furniture. You've got an additional outdoor living area here with the second concrete pad put down. But just look at this. They haven't skipped corners. Even on the back, it's all hardy board all the way. The only thing I would personally do is I would screen this bad boy in so you could enjoy it a little bit more in the summer, because we do have nasty bugs right on cue. We do have some kind of, what is that? I don't even know what that is. We do have a nice bug standing outside, so don't take my word for it. We do have bugs here in the south. Let's get going inside. All right, so the last stop before we go upstairs is gonna be the kitchen, probably one of the most highly sought after rooms in every single house. So a couple of features that we do in this: quartz, it's not granite, so we do have the nice quartz countertop, fairly small kitchen island, and then everything else around it is pretty standard, but I'm gonna give the designer for the palettes a pretty big kudos because I love the styles that they've picked. They've got the oak cabinets, the off oak color, should I say. And then they have a nice backsplash. Notice the under cabinetry lighting. There we go. All the way around, it gives it that ambient effect. We got the sink, the farmhouse sink in here. It's the black textured. And there's no gas in this particular one. And we do have an electric cooktop and a oven microwave combo. Over here, we've got the smallest little nook, perfect for your coffee. And you have a nice stainless steel. These do come with KitchenAid stainless steel packages in it. So this builder, KB, they're offering some promotions that it's truly turnkey. So you get your appliances, you get your washer, dryer, you even get the blind package in here. So you just need to bring your furniture and your clothes and you're good to go. Closet, decent size. Not huge, but probably could swallow up a couple of Costco trips on here, so really good. Now, what's interesting about this is when I did bring my client to this community, they didn't choose this floor plan. They ended up going for the next door neighbor's floor plan, which is another one of the models, which is a smaller one. And I think Mike just came in here, so we might have a special guest here. But here's these stairs. You've got the treads up. They stain them the same color as the floors just to make sure it looks good. But here's that office area again. Really like that. It's pretty impressive space. You got the light coming up and the windows. So you got plenty of natural light coming in here. Look how wide this is. Really nice. And you've got a nice upgraded padded carpet in here. I should take my shoes off, but I'm not gonna do it. But as we come in, here is the loft area. What's up, Mike? You want to say hi?
Hi.
And here is the office area, the loft area. So you're going to have a nice sectional coming over here. You've got this set up as a second living room. So you could go ahead and do multiple things up here if you wanted to do a second office or anything like that. If you did want to use downstairs as the formal dining room, you could go ahead and switch this around. But I love that you can even get this wide for surround sound. So if you did want to make this a home theater room, a true home theater room, you have that space. The only thing on this, just be careful when you start rumbling some sounds, because this is all open to the downstairs area. So you can hear some of the noise down here. So if you do have younger kids, it might be a good little spot. Keep an eye on them so they're not misbehaving. But there's plenty of width in this. So when you come up here, you just, it's really big. I'm very impressed with this, especially for the price point, especially for that price point. Really nice. All right, so here we're gonna go, that's the primary owner suite, but we'll go ahead and show you the two of additional bedrooms in here. This is obviously a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathrooms house. The remaining 2 bedrooms are at the back, but I'm gonna go ahead and just flip this camera around so you can see the laundry room. There's gonna be a transition now to this tile. Do like this tile. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Laundry rooms, pretty much all of them kind of suck, but I guess this one's not too different, but let me know what you think to this tile. They do have some good palettes available. And speaking of, here is the bathroom. This is the full bathroom shared by the 2 bedrooms. You know, you're gonna have some corners cut here, but again, for the price point, you do have the slimmer quartz, but you do get quartz. You don't get granite, so it's a good upgrade. Then you're gonna have this nice tile, the commode, and here you just have a regular shower bath combo. So all in all, good use of space. Bedroom sizes are pretty big. This is just a full bed, it looks like, maybe a walk-in closet, as you can see. Lots of space for additional furniture in here. Like what they've done it, or how they've designed it. And you could, of course, put furniture on there with the mirror, so it looks pretty good. Not gonna go in the closet, they just have the steel hangers on here. But this is a nice size. And then the second bedroom upstairs, it's almost identical. And just flipped on the reverse. If anything, I would say that this bedroom's slightly smaller. You can always tell when designers do this because they don't put full-size beds in here. They put more of those day beds in here to make the room look bigger. You're not fooling anyone. We can tell this is smaller, but it's still a decent size. You could get a twin bed in here for sure. Maybe drop some bunk beds, depending on how old your kids may or may not be. This one has the, actually, let me just check this out. I didn't check that out earlier. So this one actually has a walk-in, next door has a built-in. So it's not a huge closet, but this closet is bigger than next door's, but this room is smaller. And there is the access point to the attic in here, which is interesting. And then finally, before we hit the primary, we are gonna see a very uneventful linen closet. So not too exciting in there, but speaking of excitement, we do have the primary owner suite. Are you ready to see it? Let's go. There we go. Decent size. You can see we got a couple pieces of furniture, a chair. You've got a king size bed, 2 windows, nice light fixture above the bed. Makes the room pretty good, ties it all together. And this room again, you do have the surround package, the speaker system, should I say, throughout the house. Now here is something that you're going to be aware of. This is a question I get all the time. Those caps, they are wired for fans, but builders typically don't put a lot of fans in. Not all of them, some of them don't. There's not a whole lot of markup on that, so they just let people buy fans and install them themselves. But just to give you an idea, the space between the window and the headboards gives you an idea as could you get this a bigger bed in here without overlapping the window? And the answer to this one is yes, you could. And you have this little wing, and then we're gonna go ahead and walk into the walk-in closet. Nice size, just steel hangers in here. You do have this nice upgraded padded carpet though, so that's always nice on that. And then last but not least, this bathroom is gonna be pretty impressive in my humble opinion. Love the tile colors in here, really nice. Big open space. You do have a shower in here with the same floor tile. You have the double vanity right here, same oak finish. You do have the quartz counters, which is always nice. And then you have a pretty big linen closet. All in all, pretty good. And there's your commode in there. All right, so as we're walking out to the next door neighbor, which is the single level home, I just want to take this time just to ask you one or two things. If you are thinking about making a move here to the Charlotte area, whether it's Indian Trail or maybe one of the South Carolina suburbs, do yourself a favor, pause this video, write my phone number down. I'll put it right below on the screen, email, do whatever you have to do. Just reach out to me. Let's schedule a call and a time to chat about what your plans are here in the Charlotte area and put something specific in place. I do these videos, build relationships with builders so you don't have to. I do this channel for one reason. When I moved to Charlotte back in 2005, we bought the right house in the wrong part of town. We had to sell the house, do all that trouble. This was before YouTube was a thing, or at least it wasn't a thing in my world in 2005, if it even existed. So I do this work for you. So hopefully you guys appreciate it. And that's the reason why we do the channel. The second thing is if you're not quite ready to move to Charlotte and you're still kind of just checking maybe a couple of different areas out, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. We put out content every single week, Sundays at 4 o'clock, showcasing new communities, and you can get a gauge on what side of town you may or may not want to live at and what price points are. Here's just this study again. I really like this area, so I'm coming back in here. So go ahead and like and subscribe this channel. And of course, regardless of where you are, give this a good old fashioned thumbs up, give it 2 thumbs up, write comments below. I do want to hear what you would go for though. Here's the big question before we jump next door. Would you want the 2-story house or the single-story house that's cheaper and smaller? I want to hear what your opinion is. I know what my client decided on because we're under contract right now, but comment below. You ready? Let's check it out. So here's what we're looking at here right next door. I wasn't joking. Right next door, single level. All right, so the only thing we're gonna have to use our imagination on here is just that garage. So the garage right now is going to be the sales center, but this is where you're going to be. Your 2-car garage is going to sit right here, but the entrance point is going to look exactly the same. And what I do love about this community is you're going to see single level homes right next to 2-story homes. Really brings a nice transition to this neighborhood. But as you can see, there is so much activity going on around here. I tell you, these guys are working hard trying to get these products built. All right, so let me know what you guys think on here. So we'll just go ahead and just unpack a few of the things that you're gonna see that's similar theme. You're gonna see the hardy board siding. You're gonna see a veneer stoning on this all the way around. So there's some themes that you're gonna see that are gonna be almost identical. So on the ranch home, do wanna talk to you about the prices of the homes because the ranch homes are cheaper. Obviously they're smaller, but they are gonna be cheaper for you. So you're gonna miss out on a couple of things, but the big question is, do you really need all the things that it's gonna put out? Let's go ahead and check out inside. So, I better push that door all the way through. So here you're gonna see more of a long, narrow entrance point. Personally, I like this as well. It does feel a little tighter on the sides by design. That's where the square footage is. When you get into the living room area, it's gonna change, it's gonna open up. But when you're coming in, you're gonna see more of that slingshot style. Coming through on the right-hand side, immediately, you're gonna have an entranceway and there's gonna be 2 bedrooms and a bathroom sandwiched between it. And the remainder of the house is gonna be behind me over here. Let me just get the camera straight. It's gonna be behind me over here. And then you're gonna have the primary owner suite, which is gonna be a little bit separate, almost like a separate wing on here. So coming through, you're gonna see the first, let's go ahead and check out the bathroom. You're only gonna get a single vanity in here. You are gonna get a commode and you're gonna get a bathtub shower combo. Notice that, I don't think I mentioned this on the previous ones, but all of these homes are built on slab foundations, not crawl spaces. So keep that into consideration. There's pros and cons to slabs and crawl spaces. Reach out to me if you have questions on the specifics on those. But this is gonna be the smaller of the 3 bedrooms. You can see there's not a whole lot of room that's gonna put a lot of furniture in here. My client's actually gonna turn one of these into a guest suite and the other one's gonna be his home office. So it's gonna be a good fit for them. But you got 1 window, you're gonna have walk-in closets on this side. So really nice. Like the wallpaper. You got over here, she's practicing a golf swing. So all good on that. And then the bedrooms do have carpet on this particular model. And then this is gonna be the slightly bigger bedroom. So you're gonna see the double window on the side. It's not much bigger, but it does feel a little bit bigger in here. You've got the built-in closet on here. So there's not a lot of space. Keep that into consideration. 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. This is going to be considered its own separate wing of the house. This area is kind of a little bit tight, but again, maybe if you don't have kids, or maybe if you just have one, maybe you work from home and you just want a guest suite like my client, this could be a fit for you. Now, when you come in throughout, there is going to be a quick pit stop. So actually, I'm going to show you. Let me turn this around. So this is going to be the laundry room. Get the lights on so you can see. So this is set up obviously as a sales office, but this is where the laundry room is going to be. Not going to spend much time in here. And this is going to be your entrance point from the garage in here. But it is nice because you do have some space here. If you wanted to build a custom drop zone, this would be the spot for it right now. But as you can see, I mean, it's plenty big enough. Good size, good size. All right, so this was the determining factor why my client chose this floor plan. He and his wife loved the living room, the open concept, the vaulted ceiling. So let me know what you think. Go ahead, drop a comment below, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. Pretty good, right? Completely changes the feel of the house. When you come in, this area does feel a little dingy. When you come in here, game changer. It is wide open. Love the styles of the ceilings, vaulted up here. Open concept, I mean, it's basically one giant room. The only difference that you're gonna see in the model home than you're gonna see what's actually built. This is a temporary island in the kitchen. When you build, that is not temporary. You get the similar size, but it is the same as the other house we just saw. It's gonna be a fixed kitchen island. No sink in there, but it is fixed. Now, speaking of the sink, I'm gonna show you, this is what I was really impressed at. So let me know what you guys think. How the kitchen kind of separates from the pantry, and there's an additional kind of kitchen space right here. So it just gives you a ton of storage on here. Just look at the view that you'll get. Here you go. This is where you're gonna see that vaulted higher ceiling. So it kicks it up now to 10 feet. So you're coming in from that 8 foot and it really kicks it in, but it does look pretty architectural. You can see those lines, those ceiling lines. Again, there's no fan in here. So that's pretty much the only thing you're gonna need to put in here. I would recommend maybe a ceiling fan, but I digress. Let's get back to the kitchen. So you're gonna have a sink by the window, which is always nice. You can say hi to your neighbors while you're doing the dishes. You got your dishwasher, and then you got a pantry. And I'm gonna say that this pantry is bigger than next door's. This house is gonna be a little bit smaller. It's gonna be about 800 square feet or so smaller, but it doesn't feel smaller in this room. So here you go. Gas slide-in oven, white shaker cabinets. This one does have granite versus quartz, but that can be changed in design. And then you do have that stainless steel fridge in here. So the Whirlpool stainless steel package comes with this builder as well as the blind package. Like, everything is just really turnkey. Living room, highest and best use for it is going to put your TV on the wall. Sectional right here, or a couple different love chairs and a sofa, and that's gonna do it. The thing that really stands out on this is when you come in here, you have an ability to either section it off if you want to put two couches, or just leave it wide open, but I like the way that they've left it wide open. Now, there is going to be some energy efficiency in these homes. KB Homes, they'll go ahead and go through the annual savings because of the way that these are insulated. But this is all good stuff. And then last but not least, in the living room, we are gonna see no formal dining room, no surprise. You're gonna see just a dining area, but plenty big enough, especially it just brings the whole house together. We'll check outside on this one because there's gonna be a similar size lot. Again, this is the model, so it's probably not the best lot. but it'll give you an idea that this particular one, you do not have the porch area over like you do next door. So similar landscaping. You can pick all different kind of coloring over here as far as your hardy board siding. One AC unit in this place. The next door has one as well, but you have a dual damper system on this. And excuse me, you can include a sprinkler system. So these guys have the Rainbird set up here. So if you wanted a sprinkler system, you want nice grass, you have that option here. Really good. So you ready to see the primary owner suite? And then I want to know what you decide. Which one would you like? Interested to see what you would get. So let me go ahead and flip you around. And then the primary owner suite is off the living room area. And here we do have an extra storage area. And we do have some chips, love it. And some water, love it, love it. And here, the only difference in this bedroom and the primary is you're gonna see now that they've kept the LVP flooring, which is a dark color, all the way through in the primary, which does separate it, has a nice feel. So decent sized room. And you can see, you've got everything you really need. You got a couple of windows, natural light. You could put a king size bed. That's definitely a king size bed. Probably wouldn't go too much bigger than a king size bed in here, especially if you wanted to put a bit of furniture on either side. And then behind me, if you wanted to, put a TV on the wall, if you like that. Furniture, and they've even got a little couch. They've even got a little chair in here, which is nice. And then they have the primary owner suite bathroom. Now let me know what you think about this. So you have the double vanity and then you have the commode. I'm not a big fan of having the commode just wide open like that. That's just my personal opinion. I like it when it's in its own separate little room, maybe in here, which is the linen closet, but that's kind of more my style. And the shower, there's no bathtub and it's not a huge shower. My client actually mentioned that once he gets in and is kind of settled in, he's gonna go ahead and tile this in, because this is an area that obviously hasn't been upgraded. It's just a builder standard walk-in shower. It's not custom cut glass, it's just a sliding on there. So there is a little savings in here, but this is something that you could do aftermarket. So pretty easy to do. And then last but not least, we are gonna go into the closet. Decent size, do like how they've kept the LVP flooring, and then you've got the white wire shelving, and then you've got the KB Homes little sign in here. All right, so let's go ahead and just kind of go over exactly where we are, and then you're gonna wanna know where the pricing is. So we are located in Indian Trail. So Indian Trail is on the southeast side of town. We are just outside the 485 Beltway, and we're about 20-25 minutes to Uptown Charlotte. So as far as location goes, Matthews, we have all of this really at your beck and call. So if you're thinking about getting a job either in the Charlotte area, Matthews, Ballantyne, even South Park, you're on that side of town, so the commute would be easy. If you need to go to the airport, 485 is just a really short drive from here. And Indian Trail has pretty much all the shops that you're gonna need. So they do have retail, shopping, grocery stores, all within a couple miles away. And there's some really good small restaurants around here. So you do have the big chain restaurants, but they're everywhere. I like to really govern areas based on some of the food. I'm a foodie. Some of the smaller restaurants around here, so you have all those options. Now the community itself is called Sheffield. It's a KB Homes, as you see. There's only 71 home sites in this community. So the HOA is gonna be $1,100 a year, and there's no pool. When you have smaller communities, they typically don't include pools because the cost and the maintenance has to be split between the residents. And if you only have somewhere between 50 and 75 homes in there, the costs on HOA obviously go up. So this is gonna be what I consider a bare bones community. You're gonna have options as far as gyms and public pools around you, of course, but inside the community itself, this is not gonna be included in there, but you're only paying $1,100 a year on this. Now, price points, this is probably one of the most important things as far as driving factors to this area. You are in Union County, so the costs of taxes are going to be lower than, let's say, Mecklenburg County for your property taxes. So it's really, really appealing there. Now, the first house that we went in, that 2-story traditional house, turnkey, is 408,000. Everything that you store in this house, you just pick out your different style of pallets. Or if you're looking for a spec home, if you're not familiar with the term spec home, that basically means that the builder has started to build the house and they're somewhere in the process of completion of the house, but you don't get to pick out the flooring, the cabinets, the counters, that kind of thing. So that's already kind of been spoken for. If you build one from the ground up, you're looking at roughly 6 to 8 months, depending, as far as your build time, and you still have options in this community. So 408,000. You're gonna get the blind package in there, the stainless steel package. So all you need to do literally is just bring your own furniture into the community, move in, you're good to go. This house, now this is the one that my client ended up going with. He didn't quite need all the space, so he couldn't justify the cost to it. So he ended up going with this one, and these ones start in the very low 300s. You can build one and get out the door on a premium lot for $359 out the door with all the packages including. And right now, I don't know how long this deal is going to be. So if you're thinking about making that move here, don't sit on the sidelines, take advantage of this deal. It's not going to be around forever, but right now they're offering an incentive on their upgrade package as far as their floor colors. If you wanted to upgrade from granite to quartz countertops as an example, you do have options to get that done. And more importantly on here, the actual cost of these houses and the incentives offered. Right now they're offering $10,000 towards your closing costs. That is absolutely huge. So in a home of this price point, you're going to be taking very little to the closing table to get a house like this. So guys, I hope this video brought some value to you. If you like homes similar to this, but you're looking for a different side of town, I'm gonna put a link to a video right over here. That's where you wanna go to next. And I'm gonna put my contact information right below. Don't be a stranger. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, let's connect. I'd love to be your agent of choice and help you make a move to the Charlotte area. Until the next video, I'll see you around town, and God bless.